So I went and got the jig borer. This was one of the pieces of equipment that was with the tool and cutter grinder, the Edgewood tool and cutter grinder, and the Elliot saw. Imagine my hair's a mess now. And the Elliot saw. This was the other large piece of equipment, also the surface plate and that. This was moved in two parts due to its size and weight. All the head, well, it's not really the head, it's more the pulley housing, and the motor had been taken apart. This was fairly straightforward to put together. Apart from the motor, was a bit of a pain in the backside. I think no matter what, I've got to take the stator, the whole motor housing out. I don't know how I can get it back together how he took it apart, because you'd need really long arms. Really long arms. I'm reasonably sure I'll take this off now. I don't know if this is how they got this rotor out with this motor, but it's how I'm going to hopefully get it back in there. So what I'm doing, this is the tensioning knob for the belt tensioning, which connects to the motor, and I think I can lift the motor out once I remove this tensioning knob. Okay. So, as well as my battery ran out yesterday, I got to a point on assembling this motor, and it turned out the odds are I lost it in transit. It's probably somewhere. There's four of these rods that hold like the stator and the rotor together along the ends, and I'd lost one of these nuts, and it's a 1/4 inch Whitworth. I'm not saying I carry, unfortunately, but luckily my friend, who's quite an old gentleman, can't remember how old he is, I think he's in his 80s, he had some Whitworth nuts, so I popped over to his, but by the time I got back yesterday it was late. So yeah, I drove a few hours to go get a couple of nuts because I didn't want to wait for like postage from eBay. So we can carry on with this now. Oh, this is a heavy motor, I've got to say. Oh, Jesus. That's my fingers. Fuck. There we go. God, this thing's heavy. Come on. Don't be a pig. Oh, that was fiddly. Okay. Right. Oh. Fuck off. And obviously their pulley housing and that was pretty straightforwards. Spends all this time putting it together. I turned around as I was locking up and I realised I haven't put the counterweight inside the machine, which is this lump down here. Oh, that's a bit tight. 2 seconds. So yeah, it's on this trolley. It weighs, I don't know, it's got to be well over 100 kilos. You can't really lift it. And unfortunately I don't believe that this is the counterweight for this machine, because the 2 maintenance doors on this machine are 10 inches wide and this counterweight is 11 inch wide. So let's get this thing split in half again, get this counterweight in. So here it is, this is the jig borer. Some people might say, why do you want a jig borer when you've got a milling machine? I guess because I could have it is a big reason. The other thing is this has a power fed quill and it's a beautiful piece of history. When I stripped this down, sorry, no, let me rephrase that. When I was putting this back together, I found the data plate on the motor was 1936 or 39. I'm pretty sure it's 1936. So it's an old machine. The only information I've got is on this plate down here. It has Elgar Machine Tool Company Limited. in the casting, so it's part of it. Whilst I've looked for information on Lathes UK, is always my first place to go, and I've checked a few other places. I can't find anything on this particular jig borer. I found a small amount of information about the company that made it, but not directly made it. So I believe the company that is around today is, I can't remember the name of it, it's something Butler. They bought up a lot of companies in the 60s. They purchased Elliott, they purchased Victoria, they purchased, I think it was Verox, can't remember what it was called, and quite a few others. There was a large number of British companies this company incorporated into itself. So this plate says Elgar Machine Tool Company Limited, which I believe was a subsidiary of the main group. They eventually were called Elgar Mill, and then they've changed their name several times along the way. The motor inside is marked up as 1936. Whether or not that is the correct age for the machine, I believe it's the original motor that was first put into the machine. I'm very, very certain of that. The only thing that makes me question the date is potentially the motor may have been made and sat on a shelf in like a stock room for a little while until it got put into the machine, but it may have been put into the machine before the 40s, possibly. This is a very very cool, like well loved and very neat machine. Everything on this is, it's just silk. The table movements, the quills, okay, the head is a bit heavy, even with the counterweight. You know, bringing it down is not a problem. Taking it back up is a bit awkward. So we have got 8 inches on the movement for the head, which is pretty good. The quill, the quill has 6 inches of travel on it, which is quite a bit better because I think my mill's only got 3 inch. I've got 20 inches from the spindle to the table clearance. Obviously once I have my tooling it will get less. It's a Morse Taper 2 spindle. Pluses and minuses. It's a plus because I've got a lot of Morse Taper 2 tooling for my 1ES mill. Minus, I would really like something sort of Morse Taper 3 or 4, particularly because I have a lot of tanged drills with like integral tapers on them of 3, 4, 5. I only got a few of the 5s, I think, quite a few of the 4s, and I've got quite a few 3s, but I do have some collars to like step up and down. But Morse Taper 2 will do me fine. I will live with it. So power feed on the quill. It's got, I'm gonna guess this is sort of 0.003 to 0.0 to 0.0012. Oh, there is more. So we've got 0.006, 0.003, 0.0012, and I think there's a few in between there, but I can't really read it. So we have a few different rates of feed. The speeds on the motor we've got from 90 RPM to 1800 RPM. It's not bad. And the table is 24 inches inside, 12 inches deep. It's got around about the same 24 by about 12 inches of X and Y movement. The brakes are like really cute. I really like that table brake. And whether I use it or not, it's got all the coolant and everything in there. I don't know what half of these controls do yet. I mean, I'm guessing that's something maybe to do with better not turn it too much, changing the rate of down feed and that. I don't know what this lever does. Don't know what that lever does. The rest of it I do, but those two and that wheel I'm not sure on. What do we have around the back? And all there is around the back are some basic controls, like if you want to run the coolant pump. The only other thing about this machine that would be different from other machines, the machine has been placed on a 5-inch set of riser blocks. A little bit more capacity. I'm not complaining about a bit more, you know, working space. The other questions actually, I don't know what that does, and I'm not sure what that does. Maybe that's like a spindle brake or something, I don't know, when you're changing your tool. Yeah, it's a very nice machine. So as we finish out this video, I'd like to thank everyone obviously for watching and subscribing and following along. It's a nice thing. It really is. I didn't think I would do very well on YouTube at all. I was impressed when I hit 8 subscribers, and it's still ticking up now. Granted, I think most people are watching like me messing around with waste oil more than everything else I do, but hey ho, I don't mind. I'd just like to thank Marlene and David, who I got these machines from. Thank you so much for being so generous and kind, and for understanding my situation and for giving me the opportunity to I guess protect these machines for a few more years, to save them from any potential people stripping them, scrapping them. It's a piece of history that needs protected, in my opinion. So thank you very much, and take care. If you do watch the videos, all the best. Take care guys, I'll see you on the next one.